Hey, Ben. Thank you so much for coming on Let Me Talk podcast today. I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to do this because I love Big Brother.
Me too. Low key.
Low key.
Low key.
And someone once told me that every year they cast the show, they cast a housemate who is like a diehard Big Brother fan because the show works better.
Maybe it's my time.
Maybe it's your time.
I did audition. I did put my submission in for this last season.
And what happened?
Didn't get anywhere.
So not even a phone call?
No. I've applied for the Channel 7 season as well, which I'm glad I didn't get in because I definitely would have been the first one out. But can't do the challenges.
Because you can't do the challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look.
And I got a phone call from that. A producer called me, but I didn't get it.
So
and the Channel 9 because that was when I was 18. So I think I did applied for Sky season because I just turned like 18 or 19.
Back in those days, did they do the cattle call for you? Did you go and queue up and go
it
through?
was just like submission and then call. And then
you got a call. Okay.
Yeah.
And did you do a call for that one?
No.
Okay.
Just Channel 7. But I'm glad. But I'm like, maybe back to Channel 10, it's time.
It's time.
You know,
I always think it's like gather your stories. I have Big Brother's phone number, so maybe we should call him.
Now?
Yeah. And see whether he's interested.
Just remember like Zoe's name.
Just mark this down. She's keen.
Mark the name. I'm keen. I've always been keen. I told one of the other Big Brother contestants that I had on that me and my cousins used to play Big Brother, my sister.
Oh, wow.
When we were younger, and we used to just evict each other from the house.
Oh, that sounds great.
You know, like,
that sounds fun.
Get out.
Next time you're playing, let me know. You've got my number now.
You're the winner. You'll be good.
No, because I always think Big Brother's like putting whites in the wash.
Yeah.
Not everything comes out as white.
It's white, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's
so,
mixed.
I mean, with competition reality shows, if you're going to put someone back in, everyone already knows your gameplay.
Yeah.
So they're onto you.
They're onto you straight
and
away.
And they know that you're good.
Exactly.
They need you to
if
go.
If you went back in, you'll be like, do you reckon you'd have a chance to win again if you went back in?
You know, I think about that a lot. And I think because of the nature in which I won last time, I think people might be aware of my gameplay and they might be aware that I'm a super fan and have thought about it a lot.
Yeah.
So I think in terms of competition, it would be smart for them to get rid of me first.
But you can think about it a lot and then go in there and actually just lose your shit, not know.
Well, you know what's really interesting? Like the first time, you know, like Big Brother for me was quite scary because I obviously wanted to do well. You know, I wanted to be in it long enough to feel like I had the experience.
Yeah.
And the first 2 weeks, I didn't feel like myself at all. I felt so stressed about being eliminated or not being interesting and doing all of these things. And then that first 2 weeks was like this heightened reality for me where I threw a drink in Bradley's face and
just causing the drama.
But
you have to. What are you going to do? But you can almost do it in such a natural way because you're around these people like 24/7. Like,
I have a feeling that because I'm now at 46 and this has happened to me my whole adult life, I can try and go to a party and not be the drama, but I seem to go to the party and if I'm bored, I have this thing where I want to talk to people about, I can't do small talk, so I want to get into the
deep and meaningfuls.
Yeah.
You just want, and then like sometimes that can turn into
drama. Is your boyfriend cheating on you? And I'll be like, and they're like, yes. And I'm like, why are you with him?
Yeah.
And you know, immediately you're having a much deeper conversation.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I saw you over there talking to that girl. Is she your friend? And I'll be like, she's not your friend.
Crazy. Well, we divert, but we start with a rapid fire on the podcast.
Amazing.
Who's your favorite entertainer?
Well, Nicole Kidman is my favorite actor. Yeah. I think it was interesting. My obsession with her was very young. I saw her in BMX Bandits. And I think I liked the fact that she was Australian and that has then been a theme throughout my life. Like I love Australian television, you know.
Yeah.
I love Australian entertainers. I'm more likely to want to watch an Australian show.
We have good like shows. Like
I like hearing our
shows.
accent.
Yeah, and we have such good talent. That's the thing. And a lot of our talent, especially actors, if they only make it overseas, then we claim them. And I find that so shitty because it's like, why couldn't you notice their talent before they went overseas. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, there's some actors that haven't really gone overseas, which I think are amazing, like Claudia Carvin and Asha Ketty.
She's great.
Like, we've got some
Stunning.
incredible talent that have continued to choose to tell our Australian story.
Yeah.
And I find that very admirable.
Definitely.
Because I think we're all fascinated about who we are and why we are. And then when we see content being made, and more so now with streaming platforms, where we get to see sort of more diverse stories and things like that, I like to be seen on screen. Don't we all?
100%. And I love how far it's come.
Yeah.
Well, there's still a long way to go, but I think we've come to a really good place.
I was watching this show, Invisible Boys. Don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't, but I've heard of it.
Okay,
Definitely.
It's very good. And it never escaped me how amazing it was that I was watching this show, because I was thinking about my life when I was growing up and the set around these boys in a Western Australian town. And I just remember thinking, when I was that age, there was no one telling these stories.
Yeah.
And I felt so alone. And then when I was watching this show, Invisible Boys, I felt like they were being seen. I was like, I'm so happy to be alive in 2026 when stories like this are being told.
Yeah, exactly. What's your favorite reality TV show at the moment?
Well, it's Big Brother.
Big Brother?
I do have to say, at the moment, I'm very much into the Traitors.
Okay, yeah.
And I keep saying traitors, like, because the US sort of have a weird way. In Australia, it's traitor. Like you've got to lift the
T.
Yeah, we say that. We say that, traitor. And so they rang me to do the Traitors last year.
So you would love that Gretel's hosting it now, huh?
Well, when they auditioned me, they didn't tell me that. So I talked to them for a while about doing this show. It's sort of a process, like a lot of these shows. And I was very excited about doing that show, because I think of myself as the Australia's version of Lisa Rinna.
You would be so good in that. You would fool
Well,
everyone.
I thought it was a no-brainer, because I'm like, hang on a sec. So these popular traitor seasons around the world always have a Big Brother winner. So I was like, when they rang me, I was like, they need me.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't work out. But let's just hope that there
are other seasons.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't get a Big Brother winner. They have someone from Aussie Shore on there though.
They do, and they have a Big Brother personality, Tully Smythe.
Oh yeah, Tully got on it too.
So she got in
but
there.
not a winner. Maybe too obvious?
Well, look, no, I think that would work for them, because I mean, it's not like they're all winners of. They're not all. How do I say that? There's so many people that are at the top of their game that get selected for that series.
Yeah.
It's not as obvious to go, you've won Traitors before, so get rid of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everyone manages to get onto that show because they're sort of at the top of their game in some capacity. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of targets. And also I'm this person. And I always think like that's a really good selling point for me.
I think so.
I'm not I'm not the best looking. I probably look more like an everyday person. So that sometimes helps you fly under the radar.
True.
That's my theory. So if you're asking me, Big Brother is my OG reality. Fabulous. Embarrassing. I rewatch all of the seasons all the time.
It's fucking amazing though.
It is so good. And I've got
It's like one of the, I would say, hands down, the best social experiment there is.
Exactly.
I don't think like maths is they call it a social experiment, but I don't think that's a social experiment.
It's just different.
I think that's
they're telling a different story to what I think
crazy.
Big Brother is. When you go back and you think
like
about,
you're with a bunch of personalities, but you're doing very different things.
I mean, they're getting married.
Yeah. Like even though you're kind of stuck with that person, you're only stuck with really one person 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're closed off, I guess.
And I think that the outcomes are different for that show and the expectations are different. So Big Brother to me is still so fascinating, because I think people are fascinating.
Yeah.
But then I also think we are very different people behind closed doors. Who we are at home is different to who we want to present ourselves to be. And with the Big Brother format, it's on long enough for you to not be able to mask who you are.
Yeah.
Eventually, warts and all, we find out who you are.
Exactly. That's what I think. Like that's what I think about. Like obviously, how do you go in there with a strategy and stick to that strategy? Did you go in there with a strategy and were you able to stick to it?
And I did, yes.
Yeah. Do you think that's what got you to the end and what made you win, or do you think the Australian audience had a lot more to do with that.
Look, I studied it enough to know that you could be a good person or a bad person, but as long as you were truly being yourself and being authentic, Australia will love you.
Yeah.
And so I knew throughout my life that I was a complicated person and quite polarizing. And I thought about certain strategies, and at the end of it, I just chose to be myself.
Yeah.
And I find it quite polarizing to watch some of my season back because of the choices I make, because they're very hard and I don't agree with them. But I have to remind myself that every day that I was in there, I was choosing to be my authentic self, and my authentic self is fucking flawed.
How many days were you in there in total?
I did 87, I believe.
Was that like on the shorter side of this other seasons? Because I know that Tahan said her one was like 100 days.
She did 100 days. They were extended.
Yeah.
Their season, I think, went out by a week or so more.
What comes into play with that? Is it just like the popularity of it, or?
Look, I think this sounds really arrogant of me, but Big Brother was only signed to Channel 9 for one season. And I think that the housemates that were selected for the 2012 ninth season were very good. And I think based on the success and the ratings that we had for that season, they were very keen to come back and do another one.
And do it for longer.
And I think that they chose people for the 2013 season which were a bit bolder, a little bit more outrageous. Like Tim Dormer is a fantastic housemate, but don't let me live with that dude. Because
he was crazy.
He was a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if crazy is the right word, but he was very entertaining. But when you have a personality as big as his on a show like that, it can be, you can tell that it would be hard to live with him.
Yeah.
And I also like to say that he kind of broke Big Brother because he played that game so hard. Like, you know, when a kid plays with a toy so hard they break it?
Yeah.
That's what I like to say about Tim Dormer.
He did though. And it was crazy because it was almost like you wanted to hate him, but you couldn't really. Like you hated something he did and then he would draw you back in.
And that,
insane.
I think that's the
But
push.
I honestly think you did the same thing, but just in a different way. I don't think people hated you.
No.
I think they wanted to hate you, but then you drew them back in such a because you were endearing as well, and you had endearing qualities about you, which I think people, and you were open about your personal kind of experiences and life, and I think people gravitate towards that so much.
Well, I just like people, to be honest. I like people I don't like. This is a weird thing. I like people I don't even like. I find people fascinating, and my partner will often say that I will spend more time on the people that don't like me than the people that like me.
Yeah.
So if I go to a party and I know someone doesn't like me, they'll be the one I go up to. Hi, why won't you like me?
I love that.
I'm fascinated by people, and I think with my Big Brother journey, you're not supposed to say journey. People don't like the word journey on Big Brother, but anyway. Well, it's because it's a word that everyone says.
Yeah,
like,
my journey.
My journey. Hi. I think with my journey, I chose to revel in the personalities that were chosen. I left no stone unturned in terms of getting to know them.
Yeah.
And I don't think there was anyone in there that I didn't make an effort to learn their story and find out why they are. And did
you go in there, when you went in there, did you have a goal of like, I want to get to know everyone within this amount of time, so then there's less chance for people to nominate me based on not connecting?
I mean, there's a few questions in there. I think the answer to that is no. I didn't give myself a timeline. I just felt every day was like that. Like particularly with one housemate who I found quite challenging, I woke up every day and tried to reassess that relationship to come at it again.
Yeah.
And I would often wake up in the morning and say, today is the day I am going to be friends with Estelle.
Oh my God, Estelle.
And
she was something, but she was funny.
Look, Estelle.
She got a hard
she had a hard time. She had a really hard time.
time.
And, you know, my hat is off to that lady. I think that she was in a challenging situation because there was not a popular group, but there certainly was a group of us that got along considerably well. And I think she struggled to penetrate that group.
Yeah.
And what I absolutely applauded her for was not trying to reduce herself to any level.
Yeah.
She continued to wave her freak flag. And when I watch that show back, I find myself in admiration for a lot of what she did.
Yeah.
But again, I remind myself that she was very challenging. I mean, there was one part of that experience with Estelle which they didn't play on television, and I remember sitting in the backyard with her for an afternoon, and we talked a lot about why she was finding it challenging to penetrate the others.
Yeah.
And she was really open to that conversation. It was a good chat. But they didn't play that on the telly.
They're not going to play that.
They can't play everything.
They're probably like...
Although that's where the live stream would have been great.
The live stream. But did you guys have uncut in your season?
Well, no. And in actual fact, one of the producers, he pushed me into the house, literally pushed me into the house at 1 o'clock in the morning. He said to me, there'll be no tits and arse, I think is what he said. I think he might have said dicks and tits. I don't remember. But
they were just scarred from the channel.
But he just said there's no up. There's no... And I think as well, I don't know if this is a story I've told myself, but it's something I believe. I think he told me not to swear and not to tell rude stories.
Really?
So I didn't waste my time ever getting involved with that.
Because did you know that it probably wouldn't have been shown?
I knew it would not go to television.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really excited about Big Brother when it was picked up in 2012 by Channel 9 because I think 9 do an amazing job with their reality shows. I particularly like the brand of...
Particularly maps.
Well, you know...
That's a struggle. I think that's on Struggle Street. Do you think? After this past, like, what's happened, do you watch it?
Well, I don't know if you can say that because it's now the highest rating show.
I know, but it's like almost like damaging.
Well, I've got a theory on this. My theory is with maths, those people behaving that badly makes audiences feel better about themselves.
Probably. Yeah.
And I think in 2026, we've got some pretty complicated people out there who are getting themselves into some pretty complicated situations. And on a Sunday night watching other people behave much worse
like,
makes them think, maybe when I stole the petty cash at work this week, it's not so bad.
Honestly, that's a good theory. I love that.
I mean, I watch because I'm an entertainment journalist. I'm watching everything in advance. So I'd seen some of the episodes of this season.
So have you had seen the dinner party in advance?
I'd seen that. And so I was thinking to myself, Australia's not going to like this.
Yeah.
And also everyone knew going into that episode from the previews and a lot of conversation that it was going to be a challenging watch.
Yeah.
However, that show, that one episode is the highest rating entertainment program that's for 2026. And it might even be the highest rating show, entertainment show ever.
I think so. I think it is.
So
which is
what
insane.
does that say about us?
Yeah, we're pretty crazy. Crazy people watching it.
But, you know, that is who we are, I think. You know, we want to watch the way in which other people behave. And we're not making reality the same way that we did when it first started in 2001, nor are we making it like when I was on television.
Yeah, it's very different.
We don't have time to have Sarah Marie, burn the fish and chips, or the fish fingers.
Although that's so like what we all are craving now, I think. A lot more than what we're seeing at the moment, like that heightened kind of fast pace.
Constructed reality.
Because I really wanted those guys in the last Big Brother season to be on way longer. So like it wasn't enough. I didn't find there was heaps of time to get to know them fully, and some people were being cut so quickly that you're like...
I think that those housemates were incredible.
They were.
And I can tell you that is a very difficult job to get personalities to connect with Australia that quickly.
I think so too. That's why I'm like, I wanted them on for longer, at least like maybe even 2 months, like not do the full 3, but 2 months would have been nice.
When Coco wins on day 29, I think it is.
Yeah.
I then was watching Big Brother, my season, with Layla Sabritsky, Oatsella Layla, on Saturday night after a few champagnes. And we realised that episode 29, 2 housemates had gone home out of 16. So when you do the math on that, we were there for another 2 months beyond that point.
You were.
So
and that's so much time to get to know someone more.
And also I think that your relationship with people on television evolves. I certainly was very unpopular for a very large part of my season. And if you said to me that I was going to be if the music was to stop in musical chairs on episode 29 for me, I would not have won that show.
Yeah.
I'm a slow burn. I'm polarizing. I take a while for people to go, oh yeah, I like him. He's okay. He doesn't mean that, I take that time. So for those housemates to get to where they got to within that amount of time and have us understand their characters as well as we did, I think they were cast very well.
Yeah, and I think the live stream really changed the game.
I was obsessed with that live stream.
So, honestly, problems.
Yeah.
I was at work and my mum's like, what are you watching? I'm like, it's a live stream.
I'm going to tell you that I was in my car and I would sometimes be like listening to it on audio.
Because you wanted to watch that.
Yeah.
Because that was everything. We're seeing everything. Where obviously on TV they can't put everything in there. So it's like there was a lot that people that weren't watching the live stream were missing.
I had this conversation with some of the housemates as they were coming out, and there certainly was an understanding of who these people were for the live stream watchers versus the nightly show.
100%.
So
I've had a couple of them on now, and I was like, yeah, there's certain people that were being shown very differently on TV compared to what we were seeing in the live stream, and not given a fair opportunity really to show who they actually were.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think we got a winner that made that season feel like a full story. Do I believe that Coco should have won that series? I don't know. But what I would say, though, is that she committed to that series and certainly was one of the most interesting people in there.
Definitely.
But I do think that the narrative of her being a mother gave us a little bit more content of her, gave an opportunity for us to be like, oh, well, let the single.
Yeah, and that's very Australian. That is very Australian for us to be very supportive for that, which is totally fair enough. But she didn't have the biggest personality in there.
No, I think that Colin deserved to win that show because he gave the most amount of content.
I was hoping, I was shocked.
Yeah.
Because I thought in those top three, I thought either Emily or Colin would win.
Yeah.
Emily really reminded me of Reggie.
Yeah, I was standing next to Reggie whilst the finale was happening and people were telling Reggie that she was like Emily. And I don't know if she liked it, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, but she did. It was funny. People didn't see this, but Emily didn't get an elimination chat.
I know. That was actually
really shocking.
Crazy.
What was happening at that moment when they went back from the ad break and they didn't chat to her, Emily was across the walkway in the live audience to Reggie and she was like dying that Reggie was there and was waving and blowing kisses to Reggie and they were stopping her from coming over to see Reg.
Oh no.
But she obviously was a big Reggie fan.
Yeah.
And
I thought she was just really, she didn't have like massive like parts in the show. Like they didn't show her a lot, which I think that's kind of what hindered her from winning.
You're a true Big Brother fan and I can tell that.
I am.
Because the purists love the people who are being authentically themselves. And I think Emily was so good in that show because she did not have a controversial moment, but her just being herself was enough.
Yeah.
And if you love Big Brother and you're a purist, I think that you want to award the grand prize.
Yeah. But I did like Colin too. I wanted Colin to win. Out of those three, I wanted Colin to win.
Yeah.
But then also have that controversial opinion where I'm like, I fucking wanted Holly to win as well. Like, I actually liked Holly.
Yeah.
She was very controversial in some of the things that she may have spoken about in certain ways and things like that. But I really thought people weren't getting her the fairest amount of her unless they were watching the live stream.
Holly is the gold of reality TV.
Yeah.
Because someone explained this to me, the sweet spot when it comes to reality TV is a 60-40 split of how people perceive you. Yeah. And the best ones have 60% of the audience that hate them.
Yeah.
And people like to think that, you know, to win these shows that you need to be like, I need 90% of people in Australia to love me to get me to vote. No, you need to connect with the audience. And the best way to do that, and I love this little theory that I have, is you got to make people hate you to make them love you. You don't want them to,
so.
you don't want to make them like you.
Yeah.
You want to make them love you. And if you can take someone on a journey by being authentically yourself and polarize them, but then pull them back in, you've got.
I think she did that too, especially in the live stream. Because there was a lot of comments, obviously, on the live stream, TikTok, everything like that. So the controversy between Coco and Holly and that whole thing, I thought there's no way now Coco is going to win, because the stuff that she was saying on there was very opposite to what we were actually seeing on the TV.
But it was compelling.
Yes.
You know what? I was fascinated by those two women, very different girls.
Very different, yeah.
And I thought this is when Big Brother works best, is when you've got two people who want to get along but they don't. And there's a moment when they first turn up and they're looking in the mirror together. They're talking about their makeup and their hair and, being very girly. And you think that these girls could be best friends. You're like, why couldn't these two girls be best friends? And they really struggled throughout the 30 days. And I thought that was compelling television, because that's, I think, real life.
I think so too. I think it's very true. Like, you have two pretty girls, you expect them to get along, and then it's kind of sad you find it interesting that they don't get along, because you want to actually delve deep into why you don't like someone like that. You don't know if it's a threat. Maybe Coco saw her as a threat, vice versa. I don't know.
I think that they're just not meant to get along.
Yeah.
They're different women. You know what I mean?
But do you know what I like about that Big Brother though? It's like it's actually like no one goes in there really planning and having conversations prior that they're going to like hate each other or anything like that.
No.
Whereas like, in a lot of people saying that about MAFS this year is like they all have really, those two women that don't like each other planned this like before going on or whichever, like maybe their first day of filming, they're like, we're gonna set this up. No, well, which
look,
I find that's the difference.
Big Brother is very different to MAFS, and I think that's why I'm now starting to structure my reality shows in their format. And I think that there's conflict resolution reality television that works really well, and both of that you can see in both of those dynamics. But I do think that MAFS is brilliant at what it does. But it is more escalated. Where with Big Brother, I don't know if you can necessarily hide your feelings about someone in a house.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Like, it's harder.
And I still think about it all the time. I think, why did I struggle with this person or that person?
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is that living with people is hard, and not everyone's going to like you.
100%. And you're living with strangers. Like, it's hard to even live with your friends. Like, I always say, like, if you never go into a roommate situation with like a best friend, because more than likely you will probably not end up.
You don't want to see
friends.
that. You don't want to see.
And you don't want to. You don't even want to risk it. It's like going into business with your friends as well.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't lend your friend money.
There's a reason why. Like, and
if they tell you they're religious, you say good luck with that religion. That's fine. Don't talk to them about it. Don't ask them who they vote for in the government.
Insane. And it's like, and you can imagine what it's like being put with 12, like 14 sometimes strangers. You're just not gonna get along with everyone.
Well, I think that the OG fascination for me about the format was when it first came on television in 2001, was the year that I was out of home living in a share house for the first time.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going through that, and when the show came on TV, I was like, wow, this is like what's happening, but it's escalated with, 14 people living together. And then I fell in love with the idea of the social experiment side of it and applied.
Yeah, how many times? I think this was something that they really mentioned, right? You applied for quite
They
a
still
long
do
time.
it when the show comes around and they say to people, you didn't make it this time, but just so you know. So they do talk about it in different amounts, and I can tell you the real story.
Yeah, for sure.
I applied for season 2 after season 1, and I did quite well. I do believe that I thought I was further along in the audition process than I really was, and that's fine. I think everyone who's applied for Big Brother probably goes, I was nearly on Big Brother that year, but were you as far along?
Really?
Were you really? And then once you get on the show, you look back at those other stages and you realize how far away you were from that.
Yeah.
But in 2006 and 2007, I made it all the way right to the end.
Yeah.
And then didn't get picked. But
Do they tell you why?
No.
Nah. Just so you didn't get picked this time around. But do they tell you, do they encourage you to keep applying? Or
Yeah, you do eventually get an email. Like, you know, once the show is on TV and you're like, no, I'm not in there. I'm not on the show because the show's already started. Yeah, then everyone gets a blanket email. So like if you've just been in for the first chat or you've had any point of contact, everyone gets a blanket email that says, thank you very much for applying. Unfortunately, you didn't make it. Please apply next year.
Yeah.
So everyone gets that.
But you don't actually get told like.
No one rings you and goes.
Why do you think back then you didn't?
I can tell you the main reason why I didn't get picked in 2002 was that I wasn't ready. I was too young. I don't think I would have coped.
Yeah.
I still think about Bradley in my season. He was 19 and I think if I was 19 on Big Brother, there'd be a Looney Tunes hole in the wall because I would have gone,
get me out of here.
Get me out of here.
Did you apply fresh 18?
No, the first time was 2002.
Okay.
2002. Because the weird thing was when I won was the anniversary of when I was supposed to go on the first time.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's like a full circle.
It was a full circle moment. And then for all of those people that I'd said over that 10 years that I'm going to be on Big Brother one day.
They're like, finally.
Yeah.
Finally, and I won. Like,
yeah.
Let's just emphasize that. You didn't just go on. Like, you won.
Well, I think people were also very rude to me when I didn't get on. I lost friends each time I didn't get on because I'd be like, hey, by the way, I'm going to be on Big Brother. And then
That's literally me.
Yeah. And they would be like, and then when I didn't get on the show, not only was I facing my own disappointment, but other people thought I was lying about it. They were like,
they just don't get the concept.
You weren't really going to be on Big Brother. I was like, and then I would think back and think, maybe did I? You know, what's this? Am I delusional? But I think I have a personality type that is interesting to producers because obviously every time I went in and knocked on their door, they had many conversations. Every time they had many conversations about how that would work for me.
Did you do anything like extravagant to get their attention?
I will tell you this one thing, and I think this is something producers don't want me to share with you. It involves Camilla, and she was in 2006.
Yeah.
Iconic. Turkey slap, but anyway, that's not right. That's not why she was iconic. She was in my audition group when I applied in 2006. And that day we're in that audition group, there was maybe 30 people left in the Melbourne selection process.
Yeah.
And she polarized the shit out of that audience that day.
Really?
She burst into tears and ran out of the room after everyone in the room nominated her. We all had to face nominate.
Yes, that's insane though.
And
it's
she
so confronting.
was really, that's right. It was confronting for Camilla. Like, and also she's an amazing, excuse me, she's an amazing human. And that was the ticket to me getting on the show because I was trying to be a version of what I thought producers wanted. And I think a lot of people make this mistake, but we've seen those people before. Like I was like, I'm the funny bum Sarah Marie dancer. Do you know what I mean? Like, or I'm Johnny Rotten, or, you know, I've got a bit of Blair in me. So I was trying to give them what I'd seen before on the show.
And they didn't want that.
But they didn't want that. They wanted me to be myself. But I realized that in that audition process, if you make it that far, you need everyone in that room to hate you.
Yeah.
And they're going to pick you.
That's literally what Tahan said too. Like,
yeah. Oh, Tahan is one of my favorite housemates of all time. Do you know why?
Her.
She is polarizing.
Yeah. And she's like, I think her and Estelle are tied on the most nominated up for eviction housemates.
They are very close together, and they're also cast very specifically to be like that. You know, I said to Estelle during our season of Big Brother, you're not allowed to talk about production, and I did get away with this one, but I said to her, a friend of mine did this show once, and you're going to be here to the end. And she was like, why do you think that? And Christina Ballerina, who was in season 1, Dancing Doona, she's a girlfriend of mine, she got the Estelle Tahan edit. And that is a very important ingredient to Big Brother. You need to have someone in there who is the underdog that struggles to get along with the core group.
Yeah.
And I think that in some ways Estelle, Christina, Tahan, and there's one in every year. It's bizarre.
I think so. Who did
Camille-
you think was this one this year, last year?
that played that particular role. That
Do you
was
think
sort
there
of
was one?
the underdog. Yeah, I remember thinking that there was. I really liked Mia. I thought she was fantastic.
I freaking love Mia.
I love
had her
anyone-
on my podcast and I was like,
She
I
needs-
genuinely think you were misunderstood, girl. Like you were amazing.
She was not misunderstood by me at all.
And I don't think by like the audience, especially the ones that were actively watching the live stream, not us. I think from her housemates, like just.
And there's
directly.
maybe where we're talking about that. The only reason why my theory, I'm sort of dodging that question and not saying Mia is because Mia didn't make it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
But I think Mia makes a fantastic housemate because she is who she is. She doesn't apologize for it. And she draws a reaction from her housemates that doesn't always mean inclusion.
Yeah.
You know, she was asking some really great questions to get to know those people and she
they
had a
were
lot
like-
to offer and they didn't like it.
No.
They,
And I think like, yeah, they weren't really interested, a lot of the housemates, in getting to know people on a deeper level, some of them.
that's correct.
They
Yeah.
were like, why do we have to do this? Especially like some of the men in there, which I
Well-
think changed their tune once they realised that Mia may have been like really gravitating towards the audience and the audience it was actually liking what she was doing.
I think that there was a
which
selection.
the right, I think, told a lot of people
Yeah.
what was going on.
Look, I thought that the casting of those boys was really interesting because I think what's happening with men of that age is very interesting right now. And I found it really interesting to see them all living together and putting them under the microscope. And some of their behaviour was disgusting.
Yeah.
And I like to think that a lot of those boys at that age are disgusting, which is the correct representation. And again, that's when that show works best, is when we are reflecting society, and that is the sweet spot for Big Brother. And so those
Yeah.
Big Brother housemates, those boys that were gross, you know, I'm glad they were all there. They all played their part
Yeah.
very well.
And they made it entertaining.
Yeah.
Even the love story. But so much controversy about like a kiss. I'm like, did these people not watch Big Brother like when it was on Channel 10 and how the first time and how insanely like prerogative, like crazy it was? Like it was way worse back
I
then.
don't know whether or not a lot of those housemates had watched previous
I
seasons.
don't think so.
I don't think they were.
Or they weren't just like, there were some that were older that would have been in that like generation to watch it.
Yeah, but I don't think that for the generation that they were looking with casting of that season were people that grew up watching Big Brother. I think it had been off. It had been off telly for a while, so I think
Everyone
that,
was like, what is this kissing? I don't like it.
yeah, I think that they
Well,
were.
I think they were maybe just playing it up so then those people left. But
I love that I'm still alive, even though it makes sense like a crazy thing to say, but I love that I'm alive to watch new people enjoy Big Brother. It's one of
Yeah.
my favorite things because it was such a beautiful time in my life and something I feel so happy that it happened to me, and I am so grateful for it. Makes me feel very emotional,
and you're in the winner's circle.
and I like to think about other people having their chance to be on that show.
It's crazy. Like, I don't know. I just sit back and like,
Do you think you could win that show?
I've thought about it. I don't know. I think I have a personality that could win it, but I don't know if I'd be too scared to be fully myself and then maybe like sabotage it. For
Well,
myself.
I'm
I
here to
don't
give
know.
you the pep talk. You be yourself so hard that you
Just
can have no other option just to be that.
yeah, because
you
I
know?
wouldn't say like I'm crazy controversial.
But that's okay.
I'm probably like in between, maybe like Emily
Who are your two favorite housemates of all time? Let's break this
of
down
all
for you.
time.
Yeah.
Oh my god, am I going to offend anyone?
No.
The two.
Two of your favorite housemates of all time. You've already offended me because you haven't said me, but anyway.
Honestly, though, when you followed me, I was like, oh my god, Ben from Big Brother follows me.
Do you know that I often, this is really sad because it's been off TV. It's like my season, my era has been off for a while.
Yeah.
Like people will talk about Ben that won Big Brother and people think that Ben Zabel now won. Like their minds
confused.
have changed. Then I'm like, he came eighth. Like What?
No,
I
it's
once
me.
got booked for a gig, right? So like afterwards you might get like some media attention.
Yeah.
And I had a breakfast radio show in Queensland, and my management were called and asked, would I go to the opening of a hairdressing salon? I was just there for the hairdressing salon for a free haircut. Spoiler alert.
Why not?
But when I got there was a crowd of people waiting outside the hairdressing salon. And I arrived and I can see this crowd like something's happening. And I walk through and look around. I go, what's happening? What? And they go, Ben from Big Brother's coming. And I was like,
I am Ben.
it's me. And then I went in and spoke to
No
people that owned the
way.
salon, and they were like, who are you? And I'm like,
What?
I'm Ben from Big Brother. And they were like, no, you're not. And they got out a picture of Ben Zabel with the bald
my
guy with the
God.
glasses. And they're like, this one, we want this one. And I love telling that story to
Yeah,
Ben
yeah.
Zabel, because he is a fantastic person and just very
That's
humble.
hilarious.
And everything that you tell him, he has like such an honest reaction of, what? Oh no. You know what I mean? Like he's
Insane.
so good.
I'll give you top 3.
Okay, great.
Tahan, definitely.
Yeah, lock that away. That's a good one.
That's one.
Cosign.
Honestly, probably Layla as well.
Oh, wow.
I loved Layla. I thought
Yeah.
she was like, and then from like maybe the OG, probably like Fitzy.
Fitzy. I love Fitzy.
He was great.
He's great. He came into my series. I had to ignore him. And I was like,
Oh yes, that challenge. That
and then
that
you
would
had
have
to
been
pretend
hard.
that they weren't there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was a super fan. So
Yeah,
I'm
you're
in the
like,
house
fuck.
and I knew who all these people were. Everyone else didn't mind that challenge, ignoring previous housemates, because none of them had seen it. And so when they would leave, I would sit them down at the lounge room and give them a full year 10 communications project on who had
love
just
that.
been in the house. I'd be like, okay, so iconic. That was Peter from season 1. He was the dancing doona. He got something under the doona one night, and Australia all
love
watched.
that.
But none of them knew any of this stuff. But every housemate that came in, I was able to give them like a little tutorial on who they
Yeah.
all were.
When you actually got on your season,
Yeah.
did you get a approach? Did you have to audition by the time you got on?
Oh no, I always auditioned. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what? I've lied about that at some points because because I was trying not to be.
Why?
Well, I didn't want to be so embarrassing.
No,
and I'd be
don't.
like, yeah, by that stage,
But
they were
how
like,
many
hey.
people? Do you know what? It's even more embarrassing if you're like, I feel like if you've applied for maths like 20 times and haven't gone on.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that.
that's more embarrassing.
But now I love it. I think it's so good. Never give up.
Yeah, never
You
give
know,
up.
Never give up. But I.
Like never give up to ruin your mental health because, sorry, just being obvious. Like
Well, I don't
you
know.
could ruin your mental health if you get a
I
shit
don't
thing.
think it does.
Yeah.
This is probably the most controversial thing that I'm going to say to you today, and that is that there is a lot of people out there that like to pass the blame of responsibility over to the experience and say, it was very damaging for my mental health. Don't do the show if you're not okay.
Yeah, do
Okay.
not.
If you've got a backstory that's complicated, don't go on the show. Like, reality TV, whether you know it, will draw out of your pores things in your life you haven't had a chance to deal with. And if you're not ready to go on reality television because you've got a complicated backstory, time to go to the therapist, get that one ironed out before you go on that show, because when it turns up, it'll get you. And people like to also say, oh, they played me differently. Now, I've done 560 episodes of reality TV podcasts, and I can tell you, when I've interviewed some of the most polarizing participants, they will say to me, don't believe the edit, Ben. That's not who I am in real life. I'm not aggressive. I'm not aggressive. And I'll be like this, you're being aggressive right now. Like,
You're literally doing everything that you did. I don't blame the edit. No way.
No.
Like you're going a reality TV show, like a TV show, you're gonna be edited.
Yeah.
But then they can't actually edit out the words or put in words that you say.
well, they can do that. So that's
Oh, they can?
We're in a different era now.
Like Frankenbiting, yeah, but they can't like what you say. They can't.
Well, they can't do
then
that, but
change that word.
they can allow. Look, a good producer is never going to put a word in a participant's mouth.
Yeah.
However, we don't have all day to listen to someone waffle on, so we need to frank and grab and put it together. I genuinely believe that producers these days are playing people on these shows in the context that suits who they are. Do you know what I mean? They're not creating a character.
Yeah, like that sort of thing I don't think you can do.
Spoiler alert, when you're watching yourself on TV and you don't like it, it's because that's who you are in real life. Just so you know.
Literally.
Like,
it's crazy.
It's wild to me. Like, I've seen many a housemate say to me that show portrayed me, someone different to who I am.
Yeah.
And I say to them, that is who you are, girl.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, maybe just now that you're off it, do some self-reflection. Go to a psychologist.
Yeah, go to a psychologist.
Do something.
Yeah.
Because even that girl like on maths, there's no excuse. Like that was crazy. And the other one that got attacked, Alyssa, was like that went on for 7 hours.
It's a long time.
So we didn't see any of that. Like we thought that was shocking, but what Channel 9 couldn't show was even more horrendous and more shocking. And it's like if that all came out, all that unseen footage came out, what do they say after that? Like they can't blame the edit on that because then you're just like, that's what you're saying.
What we're talking about is a real problem for people. A lot of people don't know how others are seeing them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are bumbling along every day in life.
Thinking they're great.
Thinking that they, it's the old Marsha Hines. Who told you could sing, girl? And they go, my mum. And you're like, not the right vox pop of people that are going to tell you that you're going to be the next Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Get out.
Literally.
There's so many of us that think we are something different to who we're being perceived to be.
Yeah.
And I think it's time to get in touch with how others are thinking about us. It's time to think about how people's reactions are towards us and ask your friends, iron out the kinks. Start to think about, how you are being perceived by others and how you want to be perceived and change some of the behaviors.
Because reality TV is just putting the mirror to what?
It's literally a big fuck off mirror.
Which is like, and it's just even worse today, but when you were on Big Brother, were there things that you didn't know about yourself?
Yeah.
Like when you watched back, you were like, oh God, I need to do like huge.
I'm a little narcissistic and I think that was really horrific to watch.
But did you know that when you watched back? Like when you watched it back, were you like, oh, I'm a bit narcissistic?
I think I was going for a joke there where in actual fact what I should say is that the thing that really shocked me was how I didn't really value myself in some ways. And I certainly knew people would like to tell me stories and secrets about their life.
Yeah.
And what I didn't know was how much I was using other people's secrets for content because I didn't really love myself.
Yeah.
And so they say when you need to burp, it's because you're talking about the truth. And I'm like, this burp is now trying to get out of me like I'm possessed. And maybe this is not a conversation for a podcast, it's for my therapist. But I feel as though when I watched it back, I was a little bit unhappy about how much I gossiped about everybody else. And I probably should have been thinking more about myself. And in some ways, what I was bitching about other people was traits that I knew I had in myself. Do you know what I mean?
So you're almost like projecting something, but maybe at the time you didn't know that's what you're doing and then watching. It's almost really great to have it there to watch back.
Well, it's an inhuman experience to watch yourself back like that. I mean, that's what I think. It's like,
and it's crazy that you did. A lot of people don't watch it back.
They lie.
It's too confronting.
No, they lie.
They lie? You think they do?
They've all watched it.
The whole thing?
People will come over to my house because I'm shameless. I am shameless. I have I have my season. I have your season. I got it all on tape, girl. And I'll be like, they'll come and stay over because I'm very generous. Come and stay at my house.
Yeah.
We'll drink the wine. We'll watch the show. And then you get them to watch the show and they've seen it. Yeah. They can say that they haven't. Some of them I'm imagining, like I saw Layla over the weekend and we watched some Big Brother because she was saying she hadn't seen it. At all.
Wow.
She's seen parts because it's unavoidable. Like, some of it. But
it's all on TikTok now as well.
But I saw a look on her face while she was watching some parts of that show and it was undeniable that she was shocked that she'd never seen it. And if she had, she'd not processed it with her brain because she was really polarized. She was laughing with it in a way and crying watching it in a way that was first time viewing type stuff. Yeah.
She was a great housemate.
Yeah. She's a great girl.
And she really did provide good, like, wholesome entertainment.
That's who she is.
That song, like, I swear, lives rent free.
Yeah. But you know,
Rent free there.
I will say this.
What's your Roman Empire?
Layla is one of my best friends, and I love her. Walk Through Fire. So this is no shade on Layla.
No.
But that song would have got her to the finale because that song was iconic, and the people who wrote that song, I don't know, have ever been credited.
Like people they were housemates?
Well,
or just
it was one after, like, you weren't allowed to sing in that show.
Yeah.
So we had two musicians actually in there, writers who could write music, Ava David and Josh Moore.
Oh yeah.
And then we also had Stacey Wren in there, who is a jack of all trades, and she's a creative genius. And so one afternoon, Josh and Stacey were beatboxing, which they often would do. There's other songs that you didn't see.
Really?
That's because they're probably totes and apropes, as Stacey Wren would say.
We need the unseen footage from your season.
There's some totally, and some of those songs didn't make it, but that was some of the entertainment was coming up with original song.
Yeah.
And so they came up with this song, and Josh, I remember, created a part of it, and Stacey did the other part, and they brought it together, and we just started singing this song all the time. And then I realized how important that was going to be to Layla's victory walk to the end. So I would say to people, don't eat the oats. Because, you know, she'd be handing out the oats. Do you want the oats, Layla, now? And I'd be like, I remember I knocked them out of Stacey's hands once. She goes, what'd you do that for? I was starving. And I was like, don't carry the oats. The oats is going to help her win. That's how competitive I was.
You're like, she can't be. And did you think she was going to win? When you was like, did you have an inkling when it was like the final?
Look, I remember producers.
She was top 3, right?
Top 3, yeah, runner
up.
Deserved
and who
to
was
be
the
there.
Third one?
Estelle.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy. That is crazy. And the same thing when I was talking to Han, she was like, I was shocked that I made it to top 3 because of how many times I was nominated.
But people love that.
Yeah.
Do you know the people who love Big Brother are underdogs? The purists are underdogs. I know this because I've met so many people.
Yeah, I think I'm an underdog.
Yeah, and that's why you are a purist.
I am.
But that personality type resonates. People are going to pick up the phone and vote all the time are the people that go to Han, Estelle, Camilla, the other people that I've mentioned that were underdogs.
Even Reggie. Reggie was an underdog.
You know, Reg and I once got together. This is the first time we ever hung out, like after I'd won the show. She contacted me. I was like, I'm going out for drinks with Reggie from Big Brother. I'm so excited. But we shared a very similar story, and that we were not the most popular people inside the experiment throughout the 87 days. You know, Reggie actually felt quite excluded from some of the others, which is really funny when you get out of the show and you've won, and all those people that excluded you and didn't like you, they're all like, can I have a selfie? And you're like, pretty sure you fucking hated me in there, but you can have a selfie. You can tell all your friends that we're mates, but we know we're not mates.
Yeah. You can just ride on my coattail.
Yeah. Well, we're with Reggie. She came out of that show as a cultural phenomenon. Like, it was a moment on Australian television that is very hard to even think about what comes close to what Reggie did on that show.
Yeah.
And, you know, to think that she probably wasn't the most popular person inside the house dynamics in the hierarchy is quite like jarring to people.
Yeah.
Because people who watch the show, they're like, you know, they have their versions of who you are and what they expect had happened during your time in there. But what happens inside that house is not exactly what you see on television.
Yeah.
There's other things that happen.
When you talk to like other contestants, does everyone have like a similar kind of experience, or there are so many people that you've spoken to that just have a completely different outlook on Big Brother and what they went through?
I think everyone overall who's ever done this experiment gets it. Experience, I should say. I think they all walk away feeling the same way about the overall experience of it. But when you break it down, I think it's very hard to think about it that way ultimately, because we are all going in with our own lens. And if you talk to people from my season, a lot of people have come out of that with different interpretations of what has happened.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I kept thinking, well, you're deluded. Like, that's not what happened. But then I am older now and I realize that we all have different views of how that all went. We all have our own lens. And that lends itself into a lot of what happens with reality TV. A lot of reality TV people will ring producers afterwards and say that's not what happened. But that's because you've got 14 housemates and you've got to tell 14 stories and you've only got an hour and a half of television. So trying to choose what does get shown is really a complicated process. And so for a lot of people, they think everything that happened in the house is going to be shown on TV and that doesn't happen.
What's your biggest thing outside of just wanting to be in there? What did you want most people to understand about you when you were in there?
I was not the most popular person in school, and I think I was wanting to be liked. You know, I think we all want to be liked to a certain extent, but I thought by going on Big Brother, I could prove something to myself.
Yeah.
And I think I needed to prove something to myself, that I had some more self-worth. Doesn't solve everything because I still struggle with my own insecurities 13 years later.
Yeah.
But I ultimately went on that show to try and say to all the people that had not liked me in my journey thus far of my life that I was okay.
Wow.
And interesting about that was that I did not think I was okay. And at the time, I just forced myself to go through this experience and pushed myself out the other side. And what I like to say about my win and about anyone that's ever won Big Brother is that it's not about you. Big Brother seasons that are the best Big Brother seasons are not about the winner. It's about the dynamics and the relationships that form throughout the show and the story that comes together.
100%.
And I think, and 2020 and 2012 has one of the best stories in terms of friendships that were created through that series.
Yeah.
And that series had a lot of heart and a lot of humour.
And I think the Channel 9 seasons did, and I think a lot of the people from those seasons are still very close.
Yeah. Well,
friendships.
That's the thing.
And I really want to see if that kind of continues with this season that just passed, because they did have really good dynamics, really good friendships, and there was a lot of different people in that season as well.
I'm enjoying watching them all on social media hanging out.
They just love it.
They love it.
I'm like, I could have been on that season.
But that's not your time.
I know.
Your time is then
something.
Your time is your time, is what I'm telling you.
Your time is like,
if you want to go on that show,
I do. I think it's always
dream,
been like, but like, you know what's crazy? What I think scared me is because I'm in acting and filmmaking as well. I feel like people are just going to think I'm trying to like be famous, but it isn't. Like, it's literally me being like,
that's a small part.
I love this experiment.
No. Honestly, it's a small part of it.
It's a small part of it.
Everyone will say, I didn't go on Big Brother to become famous. And I'm like,
bullshit.
Because we all are looking for validation and redemption of our life. And I think that going on reality television gives you an opportunity to do that in a grand scale. And I think that wanting to be a little bit famous or knowing what it's like to be famous, what's it like to be papped? What's it like to walk down the street and for people to know your business? You know, what's it like to have people want to come and talk to you? Do you know what I mean? Where I remember growing up and no one wanted to talk to me at a party and I had lots of things to say. I'd be like,
I just want to talk.
I want to talk. I want to have a good time. And I thought maybe if I won Big Brother or got on Big Brother, then maybe it would bring people to me to want to be my friend. And it does. Spoiler alert, you get sick of it very quickly.
And you just manifested that though for your...
I
probably manifested that your whole life. Like since you knew that what Big Brother was.
A friend of mine said he was on a show with Lawrence Mooney, comedian, been on radio. And he worked with him at an agency. And Lawrence got talking and they worked out that they both knew me. And Lawrence turned around and said to my friend, Do you know the most interesting thing about Ben Norris is that he told me 10 years before he went on Big Brother that he was going to go on Big Brother and win it. And he did.
Insane.
And he was like, that is dedication.
Yeah.
Because I could have been rejected the first time round and said, no, I'm not going back to there again. But I wanted it so bad. And I would go to bed at nighttime and I would think about Gretel Colleen, because that's who was hosting it for so long, saying my name.
The OG.
And I'm going to tell you something super, super fucking embarrassing and weird, is that I used to walk on the treadmill at the gym and I'd be practicing my walk on stage to see Gretel.
I love that. But that iconic ramp, that was the best.
I used to practice how I would talk to them, you know,
Oh, don't worry. I do that too in the shower.
I used to play the Big Brother soundtrack that came out. And I would dance in my lounge room like I was one of the housemates, you know. And I think that if you want something hard enough and you live long enough, anything is possible.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It was a pleasure to have you on and to have a winner on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now I'm just going to give you all the numbers of the winners.
Love it.
So, because an actual journalist rang me and said, I want to do a story with Pedestrian. And I was like, oh, yeah. And he's like, I'm writing a story about some of the winners. And I said, do you have their numbers? And he goes, no, it's impossible to find some of them. And I was like, I have everyone.
I'll give it to you.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.